Hello and welcome to another pen video from me, Penultimate Dave. So I have another pen in my collection. You can see here it is a Visconti pen, and it is a pen that I really do like, and it has a special place in my heart. So this is the Visconti Corsani 90. Now, this pen, unfortunately, new has long sold out. So this pen, if I'll show you the box here. It's a standard Visconti clamshell box. It's the oldest style that have the tray in it, and if I pull this out, you'll actually see a number of things in here. You'll see the standard Visconti manual, or brochure, I should say, which basically shows off the Visconti Villa, how they actually manufacture some of their pens, gives a brief description of how they do it. It shows off some heads of state using Viscontis, it shows off some actors and actresses, and then it shows off some of the pens. So it's just a standard brochure that Visconti provide. I think a number of years ago, Visconti went away from actually providing manuals as such. So you get this brochure in the tray. You also get a polishing cloth. Now, I'm not too sure why I actually got this, to be honest, because it is actually a palladium trim, but it came with the pen. When I say palladium trim, it's a silver colour trim, but it's I think it is palladium coated. So I'll put that away in the tray as well. And then I'll open the box up, and you'll see here there's a number of things. So you have the pen itself, and then you have the Visconti logo here in the clamshell. There's a number of things. Stefano at Stilograph Corsani actually provide you this lovely wallet, and normally your receipt will be put in there. I've taken my receipt out because I don't want to show you my credit card details. And it also comes with this brochure as well, or pamphlet, I should say. And this really is describing the pen. So it's actually in Italian and in English. So Corsani. And this is Stefano's store in Rome, and it's a family-run business. So in Rome, the pen since 1924. This is a slogan on the sign of the shop that identifies our history. Writing instruments, the fountain pen in particular, are still today, after 90 years and 4 generations, the heart and soul of our activity. Our historical shop in Via Ottaviano, a landmark for all pen lovers in the eternal city. 90 years have passed since our great-grandfather opened his shop and named it after his beloved wife, Paolina Corsani. Though a disabled serviceman of World War I, every morning he took his motorbike riding down the Vatican walls to open his little stall for fountain pen repairs. And you can see here Stilograph Corsani, SAS DAL 1924. And so this pen, if I try to zoom in a little bit here, you'll be able to read this, but I'll read it out anyway. So some years later, our grandfather Mario took over the reins, introducing a more dramatic specialization of his offer, including all best brands. Today, our passion for writing instruments is unchanged. In spite of many ruthless enemies, computers, smartphones, tablets, etc., we still believe in handwriting, and recent studies by psychologists and neuroscientists confirm we are right. The fountain pen activates neural circuits and increases the activity of 3 brain areas at least. And we cannot forget the unique sensation and the emotional involvement that the nib transmits to its users. Only those who experienced this feeling can understand it. Now, I think if you're using fountain pens, you do kind of relate to that, because it is a unique feeling. it's so much better than writing with a ballpoint, or a rollerball, or a pencil even, or a mechanical pencil. So Stefano here goes on to say it was our duty then to celebrate this anniversary, and what better way than a commemorative fountain pen. For such occasion, we choose a partner that is very dear to us, Visconti of Florence, a company that fully embodies all our values, innovation, always looking back to the past. And this is our pen, a combination of precious pearlescent grey striped celluloid as a homage to the icon material of fountain pens, patented double reservoir power filler system so that your pen can be used on an airplane without leakage, and a 23-carat palladium nib defined as Dream Touch, resulting from the latest research. And you'll see here some photos of the pen and stylograph.corsani.com, which is the website. So, only 90 pieces, of course, 79 fountain pens as the street number of our historical shop, and 11 rollers to make the number 90 were made. We hope this fountain pen will be appreciated by all our clients, and perhaps it will draw some beginner close to the wonderful world of handwriting. We are looking forward to the next 90-year celebration. And then here you can actually see a very old photo of his, I believe that's his, probably his grandfather and great-grandfather. But it's a wonderful store, Stylograph Corsani. Still going today. Stefano now runs the store. He has lots and lots of Italian pens there, as well as other manufacturer of pens. He also stocks not only fountain pens, rollerballs, ballpoints, watches, lighters. He does pretty much everything. But this pen to me is very, very special because there are only 90 made totally, 79 fountain pens, so it is a very limited edition run, for sure, but it is such a lovely, lovely pen. And you can see here that striped celluloid. So this was the very first striped celluloid pen that I picked up in my collection, and I absolutely adore it. Now, since then, I have also picked up the newer octagonal from Stefano. So I have that in my collection. I have a Wall Street limited edition, and I have a number of Divina Metropolitans that also has this same striped celluloid, or stacked celluloid, or some people call it stacked coin celluloid, because it basically resembles sort of silver coins that are being stacked one on top of the other. And normally, a lot of silver coins will not necessarily be round, so they'll be hexagonal or octagonal, and you'll see various light that reflects off of them if you look at the stack of coins, and that's really where it's got that name from. So for me, this is a lovely pen, and this was the first pen that I actually bought from Stefano, and I really, really do love this. The second pen was the Caput Mundi. I actually, to be honest, I bought them both together. So I wanted this pen for quite a while, and I had been looking on Stefano's website on stylograph.corsani.com, and he had the pen in stock for, I think, probably 3 months. And I went to order this pen, and I went to the website, and it was out of stock. And it was like, oh no, have I really missed the boat on this? And I think this is probably one of the early signs of FOMO, or fear of missing out. And so I decided to email Stefano, and I said to him, hey, look, I'm really after the Corsani 90. I hope you have one in stock, maybe under the counter still. But if not, I'm also looking at the Caput Mundi. And can you let me know the price, and if you have either in stock? And Stefano actually came back very, very quickly, which actually surprised me. And he said, sure, I have both in stock. And I'm like, oh my god, like, he actually has the Corsani 90 in stock. So I at that point I said, okay, right, and I did have to think a little bit. I thought, well, I do want both pens, and I decided in the end, okay, if I get both pens, I get one now and one later. I'm paying extra in shipping. I might as well just get both pens now. So I ordered both pens from him straight away, and but I think it was a Saturday that we were emailing each other, and then I came back on the Sunday. I think Stefano came back to me on the Sunday, and Sunday morning, and said, okay, look, right, I have them now. And I said, well, how do I pay for them? And like the store was closed, but Stefano was still emailing me, and that is great customer service. So I just want to point that out, that Stefano almost never sleeps. Stefano is always around, always answering emails, and so I ordered it there on that Sunday, and obviously he'd gone into the store. He said, I'm going to package it up, I'm going to test it in the right. I can't send it out today, but I'll send it out the Monday, and I believe it actually arrived the next day on the Tuesday, I want to think. It was that fast from Rome to the UK. But that's my story behind this pen, and I've bought a number of pens from Stefano since, and this is a lovely, lovely pen, as you can see here. Now, there are dark areas of the pen, and that's just to be expected. But so this is actually modelled after the Visconti Homo Sapiens. So you have the cap bands here that are well known for the Homo Sapien range. And in terms of you have the standard Visconti bridge clip here. You have the end finial. Now, the other thing that actually came as a surprise, I knew Visconti did the MyPen system here, so you can actually swap this out for initials or for a gemstone or birthstone, and so a number of things that actually surprised me, and one was that Stefano on both my pens actually put my initials on, free of charge. Now, most retailers will charge you around £5 or €5 or $5 per initial. If you want the gemstone, it's normally around about £10 or €10 or $10. So I had that on both pens, which actually surprised me. That was the first time I'd bought a Visconti where the retailer had actually put those on for free. So I was actually quite pleased about that. And then I got a few extra freebies with the pen as well. I got a leather 2-pen pouch, which was really nice leather. And I also got a Visconti bookmark as well, which quite surprised me. So Stefano really does look after you. And so this was, for me, was quite a special pen, and that I managed to get this because it looked as though it was sold out. Now, luckily, like Stefano was just waiting for more stock to come in because this pen actually, there was still a lot more stock available, and so I think it sold out about, I want to think it was about 5 or 6 months afterwards. So I posted this on Reddit, and so many people wanted to know what this pen was, where they could buy it, and I sent a lot of people. I think it was about 30 or 40 people to Stefano, and then he eventually sold out of this lovely pen. So unfortunately, it is sold out now. You only get this on the used market, but it is a lovely pen, and because it's in the Homo Sapiens, and it kind of matches like the London Fog and the other Homo Sapiens pens that I have. This is one of the reasons why I really, really wanted it. The other thing also to mention is that on this pen here, on the end cap finial, you'll see the limited edition number. So I got 27 of 90. So in terms of the pen itself, I guess the other thing to mention is the cap band here. So you'll see here, Corsani 1924 to 2014, and that's all you'll see on the cap band. Now, like you can see here, the chatoyance that you get off of these this stacked celluloid is amazing, and this is the reason why I really, really love this pen. Now, it's a little bit hard to see here, but there is an ink window around about here. I've actually got a purple ink inked up, so it's a little bit more harder to see. But you'll see, you'll see here, if I run my finger, you can actually see it's slightly transparent. So the ink window ends about here. So where you have this silver line here around the body. So that's probably the easiest way to tell. It's very difficult to see the ink level in this pen though, because of that, because of the black material. But in terms of size, it's a nice oversized pen, and now this came originally with a medium nib. I decided to swap the nib out in the end. I found I wanted a stub nib on this, and so I've got a 1.3mm stub nib. And you can see, because of the transparent material, you can see a little bit of ink pooling around the section between the nib collar and the inner section material there. It also has the hook safe lock mechanism here, so it's about a quarter of a turn, basically to cap and uncap the pen. You'll also notice that the you can see here with the cap, the material is slightly transparent or translucent, so you can kind of see through it. Like if I put the nib under here, you can see slightly. So that's why I kind of like this material. It is a really nice material. But in terms of in the hand, it's a really nice oversized size. You can post this pen as well if you want to, but then it actually becomes a little bit oversized, too oversized for me. But it's not really back weighted that much, so balance wise it's not too bad. It is a little bit, but not much. So I think let's do a size check. In terms of length, we are looking at around 146mm in length. The cap is around 60mm, and then the body itself, if I can just put that in there, the body itself, we are looking, and to the tip of the tines, we're looking around about 130mm. Now, in terms of weight, let's have a look at weight. Now, this pen is freshly inked up, so the full weight of the pen, we're looking around about just under 46 grams. We're looking at just over 16 grams for the cap, and we're looking at just under 25.5 grams for the body when the pen is filled up. So let's do a comparison with some other pens. So left to right we have the TWSBI Mini AL, we have the Pelikan M600 Turquoise White, a Pelikan M800 Vibrant Blue, a Pelikan M1000, the Visconti Stilograph Corsani 90, we have the Classic Pens LM1, Classic Pens LB5, we have a Visconti Opera Master Luna, which is a Goulet exclusive, we have the Visconti Homo Sapiens London Fog, and we have the Atelier Lusso Carina. So let's do a writing sample. This is the Visconti. We'll do Homo Sapiens Corsani 90, and this is a stub nib. Now, obviously, I think you can see here this pen is quite wet. This is a gusher of a nib that I have on here, and the ink as well is a very well lubricated ink. So the ink we're looking at is, it does dry out quite quickly, this ink, when not left uncapped. So this is Diamine, and it's Majestic Purple. Now, in terms of line variation, it's a stub nib, so you're not going to see a lot of line variation, but I'll try and push it a bit more so you can see there. Now, if I do the figure of eights, you'll see a lot more line variation there. So you can see the line variation is quite a lot. Now, in terms of wetness, let's have a look at the. As I said, this ink does dry out very quickly. It's not the nib. So in terms of that, you'll see it's quite wet, quite a fire hose of a nib, really. So I would say, for me, that is a fire hose nib. Now, I've released a video on fire hose nibs in the past that you might want to actually have a look at, and I really just go on and detail there and show you different sets of Visconti nibs and how wet or dry that they write. This nib I did not need to modify out of the box. It writes very, very well. I really do like this. I do love the Majestic Purple in this pen. I do love the colour of that ink. It's a lovely ink. But likewise, it's a lovely pen, lovely combination. So this for me is a perfect combination for this pen, and I just absolutely love it. And I love the pen so much. I bought more pens from Stefano. I bought the Octagonal, as I mentioned earlier, and again, that is a wonderful pen as well, which I have a review of. So thanks for watching the video. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you on the next pen video. Bye bye. I purchased this pen from Stefano at stilographcorsani.com. If you're on the lookout for some lovely new fountain pens, please check out his website, or if you are in Rome, please go and visit his store.